at nearly 41,900 crore. Bitcoin touches all-time high, crosses the $81,000 mark, market cap now at $1.6 trillion. Rally follows President-elect Donald Trump promising to make America the Bitcoin capital of the planet. Matrix Ian's opinion poll predicts a victory for the Mahayuti Maharashtra alliance, predicted to bag between 145 to 164 seats in the 288-member assembly. Justice Sanjeev Khanna takes oath as the 51st Chief Justice of India, succeeding Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, will have 7-month-long tenure. Vistara set for its final flight today. Tata Group consolidates its airline business, merges Vistara into Air India, forming a unified airline. Hello and welcome. This is Profit 360 on NDTV Profit, and I'm your host Himakshi Bahuguna. Along the next half an hour, we'll bring you the latest on the markets as well as national and international news. Nifty, Sensex end a volatile session on a flat note. Sectoral indices traded mixed, with media dragged and IT leading the gains. Neeraj Shaw joins in with a wrap of all the action on the bourses.
It's a quarter of earnings misses, and today was just the perfect example of what earnings misses or expectations of earnings misses can do to stocks. It was a very weak day today, and while the headline number belies that kind of a move, because you see the Nifty Bank and IT actually did well, but a broad set of stocks really cracked. And if you just look at the Nifty heat map, I'm not even going to the mid cap and the small cap indices, it'll show you that stocks fell as if they were mid caps. Asian Paints 8% lower. Britannia, ahead of the numbers, was down about 5%. A clutch of Apollo Hospitals, Cipla, a clutch of metal names, so JSW Steel, Tata Steel and the others, had a fairly strong wobble. Heavyweights like Reliance Industries cracked about 0.86% as well. And everything related to paints. I think Grasim also felt the pressure there. But a clutch of other paint companies also cracked in trade. What did well? Power Grid, Trent, maybe on account of the Goldman note, and IT thwarted that selling pressure along with HDFC Bank. So Infi, HCL, Techem, TCS and their ICICI Bank as well as HDFC Bank helping the markets stay okay. Classic index moves. But the broader end of the spectrum, the BSE 500 winners and losers, and if you look at the losers list, you will see the way stocks cracked today post numbers. So UPL numbers came out, wider loss, down 8%. Asian Paints you already know. CE Info, MapMyIndia seriously cracked in trade. Aarti Industries cracked in trade today as well. And not too many winners. I mean, a Biocon on that VAI or a PFC post results, etc. did okay. But a lot of stocks badly cracked. Just lastly, 2 or 3 result reactions. PIX Transmission had a big 20% bumper move today. So that did really well on results. Premier Energies on very high valuations and some soft commentary cracked in trade. So that one was down. And this showed that the market is really rewarding or punishing results as they come out.
Thanks, Neeraj, for that. Now, amid the FII outflow extending for 30 sessions now, when can we expect the foreign investors to return? Here's what Axis Capital's Neelkant Mishra had to say.
The FII outflows, what we saw in October and they've continued in November, were nearly 2 times the pace at which the domestic inflows were happening. So when this level of outflow happens, obviously there will be a pressure on price to earnings. Now, the question to ask is, are FIIs done selling? From what we have seen in the data, a large part of this selling of India is actually EM level selling. And given that China's stimulus itself has not been that exciting, and higher US rates generally means a stronger dollar, which is actually generally not so good for emerging markets. So I don't think we are done with the FII selling yet. But whenever it gets done, it is reasonable to expect a bounce in the Indian markets as well.
Shriram Funds has unveiled the first ever multi-sector rotation fund designed to navigate risk across sectors. NDTV Profits Charu spoke with the MD and CEO to understand how this fund will work.
Shriram Multi-Sector Rotation Fund essentially is a fund that gives you exposure to trending sectors, the top 5 or 6 trending sectors in the market, and it rotates as the sector trends change. So it picks up within each trending sector the performing stocks as well. So if people are investing in individual sectors, they might face sector traps as the cycles change. So we are saying, leave it to us. We'll give you a diversified exposure of 5-6 sectors. We will rotate across sectors. And compared to you, if you're exiting your sectoral fund, you may have tax implications. In our case, when the fund manager is rebalancing the stocks or sectors for you, there's no tax implication for you, right?
Maruti Suzuki has launched the new Dzire at an ex-showroom price of 6.7 lakh rupees, available across 4 variants and a single engine option. NDTV's Mugdha Mishra brings us the inside scoop on what's Maruti's latest offering.
Maruti Suzuki has launched the 4th generation of its compact sedan Dzire. This is a very important product for them. They have sold 27 lakh units of Dzire till now, and now it comes in its 4th generation. The prices start from 6.79 lakhs and go up to 10.14 lakhs. The CNG variant prices have also been announced. The prices start from 8.74 lakhs. What is special about this Dzire is the fact that Maruti has for the first time used a completely different design language. Till now we have seen Dzire which looked a lot like Swift with a boot added to it. But this time it's completely fresh looking exteriors and a lot of changes in the interiors as well. The boot size has gone up. The dimensions pretty much remain the same. But one of the most important things that Dzire has achieved is 5-star global NCAP rating. Indian customers, Indian buyers have started giving a lot of emphasis on safety, and Dzire has managed to get 5-star global NCAP safety rating, and that is something that the customer is definitely going to appreciate. Now let me tell you some of the features that have been added. One of the key features that has been added and is much appreciated by Indian buyers is the sunroof. Besides that, there is a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Suzuki Connect, so this car gets connected car tech, and there is rear AC vents as well. So a lot has been done to make sure that the new Dzire appeals to the private buyer of this segment, and the company will continue to sell the existing Dzires as commercial vehicles.
Mugdha also caught up with the MD of Maruti Suzuki to understand the key target market for their newest release.
The compact sedan segment, for us, this is a stable segment. And especially, for example, last year, our sales of Dzire increased. So if you see the total segment, maybe it looks like decreasing, but actually our numbers is increasing, and also the October sales was pretty much promising. So I think this compact sedan segment cannot be underestimated.
This time in Dzire, it's very clear you have made an effort to adopt a new design language. Till now, it used to look a lot like Swift, but now it has a completely different design language. So do you think this is specifically targeting the private buyer? So what is your strategy now for private buyer and a commercial segment where Dzire has always been very popular?
As you said, we are targeting to the private buyers. So we will introduce this car to the private segment, and at the same time, for the fleet segment, we will keep selling the existing products. So that's how we can differentiate those two markets, and we sell this car strongly to the private segment.
Paint stocks were in focus today as the sector faced major headwinds. Asian Paint saw a dip of nearly 9% in today's session. My colleague Mahima joins in with more. Mahima, what's pulling the paint stocks lower?
Overall, the paint industry this quarter as well as quarter one has seen a lot of pressure. Now, multiple factors playing out here. First one being overall the demand conditions have been subdued in the past 2 quarters. First quarter, the reason was elections. This quarter, the reason has been heavy monsoons. So first of all, demand conditions have remained subdued. Now, this is overall affecting the volume growth. Most of the paint companies that have come out with their results, except for AkzoNobel, have overall posted a flat volume growth or a muted volume growth. Thirdly, margins are taking a hit due to inflationary pressure. Most of these paint companies have taken a huge hit when it comes to their margins. And intense competition from new entrants like Birla Opus is now playing its role. And we are seeing that competitive intensity for big players like Asian Paints is also taking a hit now. Now, in terms of Asian Paints, how Q2 overall FY25 has panned out, well, it has missed estimates on all its front, and in terms of the gap between the estimates and the actual numbers, revenue had a gap of 6%, EBITDA had a gap of 21%, margins had a gap of 280 basis points, and net profit excluding the exceptional items of 180 crore had a gap of around 18%. So overall miss on all fronts in terms of the estimates. In terms of what has led to weakness for Asian Paints, demand remains subdued, which has been the case for the entire paint industry. Headwinds in the international business is also something that is playing out against Asian Paints in the past 2 quarters now, and product mix and price inflation are kind of affecting the margins, and margins this quarter have been lowest in the past 8 quarters. Now, is Grasim actually putting a dent to Asian Paints? Well, CLSA believes that competitive intensity continues as, Birla Opus is now increasing its touch points, and overall they're expecting that Asian Paints might take further discounts going forward, considering the kind of competition that is rising from Birla Opus. Moving on, what are brokerages saying? Well, Nomura has maintained a neutral and lowered its target price from 2850 to 2500, and they've cut their FY25 to 27 estimates by 13%, and they've forecast an EPS CAGR of 12% over FY25 to 27. Most brokerages on Asian Paints are bearish. Even Jefferies has maintained a high conviction underperform with a target price of 2100, and they remain concerned about the competition that is playing out. Lastly, even CLSA has given an underperform rating and reiterated underperform with a target price of 2290. So overall, I think next quarter, even though Citi believes that next quarter could be second half, in fact, not just the quarter, could be better for Asian Paints. Something that will be a key thing to watch out for will be the demand conditions as well as the competition and inflationary price pressures on the margins.
Here's an NDTV Profit exclusive. Cola wars are back with a bang. CocaCola has slashed prices of its 400 ml bottle by 5 rupees to 20 rupees. This is to take on the retail giant Reliance Retail, which has launched Campa Cola. Sesha Sen brings you exclusive details in this report.
Coca-Cola has reduced the price of its 400 ml bottle by 5 rupees to 20 rupees now to compete with Campa Cola. The new price matches that of Campa's 500 ml PET bottles, essentially meaning that even after the price cut, Campa will offer 100 ml more than Coca-Cola. The bottles with revised sticker prices have been launched for its flagship brand Coke in southern markets like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Karnataka and Kerala, and it is learned that Coca-Cola will soon expand the same pricing to other states as well. For its existing stocks, Coca-Cola has introduced new packaging advertising 250 ml plus an extra 150 ml for free. The brands like Thumbs Up, Sprite, Fanta and Limca will follow suit with similar pricing for their 400 ml bottles in the next few weeks. Further, what we have learned that the company has discontinued its 250 ml bottles that were priced at rupees 20 in the southern markets and have asked distributors to liquidate the stocks. However, Coca-Cola is planning to launch a cheaper pack to compete with Campa's rupees 10 entry point or not is something that remains to be seen. PepsiCo at the same time is also following Campa's aggression. They have not implemented a direct price cuts, but executives have said that they have been negotiating with the distributors in order to increase their trade margins and ramp up promotions to boost sales. As competition hits up, the beverage landscape will be interesting to watch, particularly the moves by Coca-Cola and PepsiCo to protect their turf.
Now, food delivery giants Zomato and Swiggy are under investigation by the Competition Commission of India for allegedly favouring select restaurants. The companies have responded to the report. NDTV Profit's Haripriya joins us with the latest updates on the story.
Zomato and Swiggy have responded to the Competition Commission of India's probe reports, which found both these platforms to be breaching the antitrust laws. Both Swiggy and Zomato were being probed for favouring select restaurants on their platform. Now, Zomato confirmed that it has been under the investigation by the CCI since April 2022, but no final order has been issued against them yet. They are cooperating with the CCI and defending its business practices. It also said that they had disclosed the matter to stock exchanges in April 2022 itself. Now, Swiggy also has clarified that the inquiry is still in the preliminary stages and no final decision has been made yet. It has not received any details from the DG report. Once it does, it will be responding to the same, and further the hearing will be done. Swiggy also said that it is constantly cooperating with the CCI, and it had disclosed details about this in their red herring prospectus in September 2024.
Now, retail investors have bought the dip in October. Mutual funds saw fresh record inflows into equity mutual fund schemes at nearly 41,900 crore. Alex joins in with a breakdown of the month's data.
It's another month of records for the mutual fund industry in India with significant inflows. And if you thought that the retail investor in India would run for the exit when the equity markets were falling, well, think again, because you've had inflows of 41,886.7 crore rupees into actively managed equity mutual fund schemes, and that is a record high. In a month when the Nifty 50 was down 6.2%, the mid-cap index fell 6.7%, and the small cap index ended the month with cuts of 4.2%. Now, where are these inflows coming through? You've had significant inflows once more into sectoral and thematic mutual fund schemes. It is by far and away the largest category in the actively managed space, and it accounted for about a third of the fresh inflows on a net basis into equity mutual fund schemes. You also had significant inflows into flexi cap, small cap, mid cap, large cap, and multi-cap schemes. And in fact, all of the subcategories of the actively managed equity mutual fund scheme space saw inflows. You also had significant inflows into fixed income mutual fund schemes to the extent of 1.57 lakh crore. This is, of course, par for the course, and you usually see very substantial inflows at the start of a quarter, just as you see substantial outflows towards the end of the quarter. What is more interesting is the SIP number, and that is once again a record high, 25,323 crore rupees on a gross basis getting into mutual funds through the SIP route, and that compares with a record high of last month of 24,500 crore rupees or thereabouts. It'll be interesting to see whether or not investors decide to continue to invest in the month of November, because really that is going to be the true test of their gumption.
Now, Bitcoin has touched an all-time high and crossed the $81,000 mark, resulting in a market cap of over $1.6 trillion. This could be at the back of U.S. electing the pro-Bitcoin President Donald Trump, where he promised to make America the Bitcoin capital of the planet. His stance on making the USA crypto hub, coupled with the launch of digital currency platform named World Liberty Financial, marks a transformative period for both Bitcoin and the broader crypto ecosystem. We also spoke to Ashish Singhal from CoinSwitch. Here's his insight on growing role of cryptocurrency in emerging markets.
This is an asset class which can't be ignored for long, right? When it started, it was a retail phenomena. A lot of retail investors got into investing into these cryptocurrencies, and over time, ETFs helped make it much easier for HNIs, for funds, for corporates to get into this ecosystem. And the wave or the kind of increase in value that we are seeing today is not just is driven by retail. Obviously, Donald Trump election and Fed cut are the main reasons for the price increase, but it's also the kind of adoption that we are seeing, not just from retail, but HNIs and funds this time.
Big US FDA boost for Biocon. The pharmaceutical company has just notched a voluntary action indicated tag from the regulator. But what is this VAI tag and what does it mean for the company? Varsha joins in with more.
second best classification that a pharma company can get from US FDA. A VAI, that is voluntary action indication, is generally issued when a plant receives observation and company responds to them, and the regulator believes the response by the company is satisfactory. It simply means that they can continue their business operation without any additional regulatory hurdles. Now, inspection was conducted between July 15 to July 26. Now, with the Bangalore unit getting an go-ahead from the US FDA, regulatory clearance for Biocon's Malaysia unit remains the focus point for investors now. Now, coming to the second half of FY25, well, we all know that Biocon had kind of weak set of numbers, but they are expecting H2 to be better on the back of continuing recovery in Syngene, momentum in biosimilars, and new launches in generics. And also recent debt financing by the company at a lower cost will aid profitability for Biocon Biologics as a whole. So yes, this is actually a big development that Biocon has got. Now the Malaysian unit, now investors are waiting for the VAI indication for Malaysian unit as well.
Yeah, thanks, Varsha, for that. Now on to some national news. According to a recent opinion poll by survey agency Matrix, Maharashtra's ruling coalition Mahayuti is likely to secure a victory in the upcoming assembly elections on November 20th. The survey, which gathered data from over 109,000 participants between October 10 and November 9, projects a comfortable lead for the Mahayuti alliance. The poll results suggest that the Mahayuti could win between 145 to 165 seats in the 288-seat assembly, while the opposition alliance Mahavikas Aghadi, which includes the Shiv Sena, UBT, Congress, and NCP, is expected to secure between 106 and 126 seats. On a regional level, the Bharatiya Janata Party, a core partner in the Mahayuti alliance, shows a strong voter support in western Maharashtra, Vidarbha and Thane Konkan region. Meanwhile, the Congress-led MVA is expected to perform well in North Maharashtra and Marathwada, with estimated vote shares of 47% and 44% respectively. The trial court for Rikkar College rape case in Kolkata began at a special court today. The hearing began at 2 p.m., allowing for the commencement of the trial process, which will be conducted on a fast-track daily basis. The Selda court in West Bengal had framed charges against Sanjay Rao. On the 2nd of November, this was in connection with the rape and murder case of a junior doctor at Rikkar Medical College and Hospital. The tragedy unfolded on August 9 when the second-year medical student was found dead in the seminar hall of college. The incident ignited protests across West Bengal, with doctors nationwide expressing solidarity with the junior doctors in Kolkata. Today marks the end of an era in the Indian aviation space as Vistara operates its final flight following a strategic merger with Air India. This move is a part of the Tata Group's broader initiative to streamline and consolidate its airline operations under one brand. Vistara, which was initially established as a joint venture between the Tata Group and Singapore Airlines, will now fully integrate into Air India. While the airline's brand will no longer exist, passengers can expect minimal disruption. Vistara's routes, schedules and in-flight services delivered by the same skilled crew will continue as normal under the Air India banner. The merger also includes the allocation of additional resources at key touchpoints across India, with close collaboration between Air India and partner airports to ensure a smooth transition for both passengers and staff. Indigo is raising the bar for business and frequent flyers with the launch of its new premium service, Indigo Stretch. Designed for India's high-demand business routes, Indigo Stretch offers enhanced comfort and convenience for those seeking a more premium flying experience. The first Indigo Stretch flight will take off on 14th of November 2024 on the Delhi-Mumbai route. This premium service also includes a range of exclusive perks for a seamless experience, including priority check-in, anytime boarding, advanced seat selection, and no additional convenience fees. Additionally, Indigo Stretch customers will be able to carry more with a 30 kg checked baggage allowance and 12 kg cabin baggage. Justice Sanjeev Khanna took oath as the 51st Chief Justice of India at the Rashtrapati Bhavan today. He will be succeeding Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. CJI Sanjeev Khanna was a part of key landmark judgments including electoral bond scheme, abrogation of Article 370 and many others. Unlike his predecessor D.Y. Chandrachud, who served a 2-year term, Sanjeev Khanna is set to hold the CJI post for 7 months. President Draupadi Murmu administered the oath of office to Justice Khanna at a ceremony attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and other important personnels. After taking over the charge of the new CJI, Sanjeev Khanna is scheduled to hear several high-profile cases including Google's Android dominance lawsuit, the criminalization of marital rape and the e-gaming retrospective taxation issue. A good feature launch for Zomato users. Online food delivery platform Zomato has introduced a new feature to cut down on food wastage. The feature, called Food Rescue, will offer cancelled orders at unbeatable prices to nearby customers within a 3-kilometer radius of the delivery partner, providing a solution in case a customer cancels their order. Announcing the move through a post on X, Zomato's founder and CEO Dipinder Goyal wrote, "We don't encourage order cancellation at Zomato because it leads to a tremendous amount of food wastage in spite of stringent policies and a no-refund policy for cancellations. For more than 4 lakh perfectly good orders get cancelled on Zomato for various reasons by customers." Well, that's all the time we had on this edition of Profit 360. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit for more news and updates.
Listen to the voices of reason as they talk about corporate health and investing principles with me, Neeraj Shah, on my show, Talking Point.
Bro, what are you doing?
I'm trading FNOs.
So, have you made any money?
So it's simple. If you think the market is moving upwards, just buy Nifty call option. But if you think the market could slide downwards...
Simplifying futures and options trading.
Don't worry about the future.
We've got your options covered.
Futures and options strategy that will help you move with the tide.
An unmissable trade.
If you want to be in the money.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands.
Hi, thanks so much for joining in. You're watching the Mutual Fund Show on NDTV Profit, and my name is Alex Matthew. Now, this show gets you insights on everything mutual fund related. And it turns out that mutual fund portfolios, like people, come in all shapes and sizes. And it depends what you want to achieve with that portfolio that you should construct it, or rather you should construct it with that frame of mind. And so to that end, I thought, why don't we talk about those people that don't want to worry too much about their portfolio and tinkering with their portfolio on an ongoing basis. Is there such a thing as an all-weather portfolio, something that